Change Points is a toolkit that provides policymakers and practitioners with resources to lead a practice-oriented design workshop. Practice-oriented design fits within a broader turn towards systemic design research, recognizing that sustainability will not be achieved through isolated changes in any one part of a socio-technical system, and instead must consider ways of stimulating systemic change. The difference is that practice-oriented design places practices, rather than people or systems, at the centre of design processes. Practices are ordinary activities like showering, cleaning, cooking, and travelling that bring together distributed social and material elements. By focusing our attention on these ordinary activities, we can better identify opportunities for intervention. The Change Points process is best followed in groups of 3 to 5 people. More people could attend a workshop, but it's best to split them into smaller groups so everyone has a chance to contribute. The toolkit contains instructions for 6 exercises, which guide participants through a creative process to plan an intervention. First, participants are invited to develop a collective vision for an alternative future, and think about how everyday practices are performed in that future. For example, we might imagine a future free from plastic hygiene waste, and begin to think about different ways that people perform practices involved in keeping bodies, homes, and clothing clean without the use of these products. Next, people trace sequences of ordinary activity, considering ways that people, as carriers of practices, move through different spaces in their daily life that impact on their hygiene practices. For instance, we might consider things like getting ready for work, shopping on the way home, or going to the gym in a lunch break. By outlining these, we can think about how the actions of other people impact on their practices, shaping, for example, how hurriedly they perform a practice and the materials involved as a result. Then, participants reflect on diversity of daily routine, thinking about how and why different people go about similar activities in different ways. It can be useful here for participants to reflect on their personal practices and identify differences to explore why variation occurs and why it matters. By the end of the discussion, participants may have identified some particularly plastic-intensive variations in practice, or some vulnerable people who have needs for plastic products that others may not. Finally, participants are tasked with mapping the wider constellation of social and material elements involved in a practice, and the actors who have influence over these. This is a big task, and if there are several small groups, it can be useful to bring them together here to add detail to the picture. These exercises provide a partial and pragmatic, but nevertheless effective translation of distinctive insights from practice theories to reframe sustainability problems. Once this expansion has taken place, the toolkit switches approach and reframes these complexities as spaces for sustainability intervention. In this way, participants consider, in practical terms, various possibilities to direct social change towards sustainable consumption.